Thrilled to be here. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Michael. My name is Dahlia Marin. Again, I'm an integrative registered dietitian, a certified gastrointestinal nutritionist, and I'm one of the co-founders of Marit Health.
I'm James Marin. I'm an integrative registered dietitian, environmental nutritionist, and one of the co-founders of Marit to Health. So thank you all so much for being here. I'll go ahead and click to the next. So what we're going to be talking about today, you're going to hear more about us. You're going to then we're going to get into where did our gut come from? What is the human gut? Where did it come from? What is the gut microbiome? We're going to get into what can happen with the gut in terms of gut issues like SIBO and IBS and beyond. More importantly, the next item is restoring the gut microbiome. How do we do that? What does that look like? And really, that's where we kind of develop protocols. We really encompass that with what we call heal with each meal. That's based on research. That's one of our mantras. Feel with each meal is another one of our mantra where there's other aspects to take into account. And then we'll discuss real patients and answer your questions. So we're really excited.
And if you'd like to follow along with other things that we have going on at Married to Health, feel free to follow us on all platforms. But we really, truly are here to help you and your family and those who you love most heal with each meal. And that sounds really easy. It sounds very simple, but we're going to get into the weeds of what that means, especially if you're somebody who's dealing with gastrointestinal or gut issues. And we truly do believe that you can heal with each meal, whether that's you healing your relationship with the food and you are feeling with each meal, whether that is using the food as medical nutrition therapy, or really just understanding the ins and outs of how that food is interacting, especially with your gut microbes, because I'm sure you've all heard by now, we are much more microbial DNA than we are human DNA. So we're going to really get into talking about how you can heal with each meal and heal your gut bugs with each meal as well.
And we are not alone in this mission. It's us, and we have five other integrative registered dietitians, all with different specialties. So we do have a team of integrative and many plant-based registered dietitians, whether it's cancer, whether it's your pediatric, your kids and your family, whether it's metabolic issues and weight loss, as well as gut. We do see a lot of gut-related patients, whether that's IBS, SIBO, IBD, gastritis, reflux. The list goes on and on and on.
All right, perfect. So we're
Perfect.
excited to get into things and get started on talking all things gut.
So we believe the human gut microbiota is the nexus of all health on this planet. What that simply means is really gut health is at the root. And being an integrative practitioner, integrative registered dietitian, what that really means is we like to get to the root. We like to get to the why. Many of what we've been doing the last 80 to 100 years is really going, oh, you have symptoms? Let's just eliminate those symptoms. Let's just treat the symptoms. What an integrative dietitian or integrative doctor or integrative health professional does is go, well, yeah, we see those symptoms there. And yeah, we're going to definitely get to that. But we want to look deeper. Why did those symptoms even occur in the first place? What are the roots? And that's really why we came to gut health is understanding that, oh, wow, within our body, there is this ecosystem and it's alive and thriving in many, many people. And it's very much active and changing. And this ecosystem is made up of viruses and bacteria, fungi, protozoa, archaea. We won't go into all the microbiology today in the time we have, but it's really important to know. I think one of the coolest facts, and maybe many of you have heard this, I know many, many have not, but you're actually a super organism. So you're one organism, or what appears to be one organism, but you're made up of many other organisms and actually many other ecosystems, and they're all working together. What does that kind of remind you of? It really reminds us of the earth. It reminds us of the ecosystems we see at large, where you look at a big piece of land and you find out, oh, there's deserts and there's mountains and there's ocean, all with their own ecosystems. So really what's beautiful with that is as our body really resembles the ecosystems we see in the outside world, that really tells and paints the picture of the story of where our gut came from, really. Because as many, many studies have shown, and as we're understanding more and more, we're really getting our gut microbiome and the human microbiome from our environment. And in this diagram, from a really great kind of review and analysis study done in 2019, we really found that the plant microbiome, the soil microbiome, is influencing the human microbiome through a number of variables. And then as we kind of moved into the Industrial Revolution, as we kind of got disconnected, we're seeing that we have then pesticides and other environmental factors, and we'll get into more of that as well, kind of disrupting this cycle of connection, kind of disrupting how we replenish and how we know our gut microbiome today versus how we knew it 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago. So really, this is painting a picture of like, oh, that's why we have these microbes in and on us, because really the microbiome, the human microbiome, has actually the bigger impact now on the outside microbiome and the outside ecosystem. So we like to say this ecosystem right here, you literally have it with you all the time, has the biggest impact on this ecosystem, like you're seeing, right? These big ecosystems, rainforest, right? Think of your favorite park, think of your favorite national forest, or wherever you like to visit. It's actually your gut that has the biggest impact on that. And so you may think, why? Like, how is that possible? And really, it's important. I like to kind of go through this to paint this picture of what's going on. Well, really, humans are the only ones that can drastically change landscapes. Yes, other animals can do that, but not as, I would say, robust for better or worse, or as efficient for better or worse. Than humans, right? And we really see this in this graph where we're looking at farms, and you may think that, and I'll explain that, but really we're seeing the number of small family farms decreasing, while the average farm size is increasing. So really this means, hey, we're moving away from these smaller ecosystems where families and people are really connected to the land and managing the land in a healthy way, and we're moving to more of these big monocrop systems, which we've all known and been seeing for the last, again, same amount of time, 80 to 100 years. It's been this move, but really what this is doing is creating less hyperlocal farming. There's farm consolidation, and there's methods to increase yield versus methods to increase nutrition. And more importantly, what that does is decrease microbes. So we're in Orange County, California, and many kids today, as an example, don't know why it's called Orange County. They're just like, oh, it's just called Orange County. Well, no, it's because we grew oranges. We were one of the largest producers of citrus in Orange County, and that makes sense. That's why it's called Orange County. Now you don't really see many citrus trees. There's some in people's backyards, but that's about it. And now this generation's like, why is it even called Orange County? Because it's changed so rapidly. So as we kind of see this play out where the disease in our body is running rampant, we're also seeing the disease outward in the environment. What we need more of is complementary planting, this hyperlocal farming, composting and mulching, all these wonderful things, right? Because what that does is create healthy soil, a healthy soil microbiome, and nutrient-dense foods. At the same time, what we need less of are these big kind of monocrops and CAFOs, and essentially we are creating incentives to increase profit and transport and not increase nutrient density as well as microbial density. And that's why you're seeing it kind of play out in silos where now you need to take a probiotic supplement and you need all these supplements and all these other things to kind of complement or to replace what we're missing. But really, that is not integrative, right? We need to go to the root and say, why don't we build in inherently in every neighborhood, in every city, in every county, this connection to healthy soil? And so why and when we do that is really this understanding of we are inside out plants, right? It's really cool to parallel the inside from the outside. And so when you look at a plant, plants use microbes outward. So the microbes in the root system, which is called the rhizosphere, and the soil microbiome, they use those microbes to actually break down rocks. You can think of minerals, and they're getting the zinc and copper and manganese and the nutrients that are in the soil and absorbing it through the roots. Humans use microbes inward to pull nutrients outward to the rest of the body. So it's literally the same process, just in reverse and just in a slightly different ecosystem and environment, but it's the same idea. So it's really cool to think, especially those who are like maybe not fans of plants, we really resemble plants and we're obtaining pretty almost about a majority of our microbes from plants and soil and plant matter. So it's very, very cool to kind of think of that and look at that juxtaposition. Um, we also see this play out and this juxtaposition play out when we start to see the outside ecosystem resemble what's happening in the human ecosystem. So again, all this is just painting a picture of the gut. What is the gut? What's happening to the gut? So as we're seeing more of these monocrops in agriculture, we're seeing people shift to a low diversity diet, where we've all heard the stories of kids who don't know what this vegetable is, or, we see it in our practice of patients who come to us and say, I only eat about two vegetable types a day. Like maybe I'll eat some celery and a cucumber, which technically cucumbers are fruit. So it's like, wow, okay. All right, what else do you eat? And there's not really much diversity and quality when it comes to plants. We're seeing this in fertilizers, where as we increase fertilizers because of the short-sighted monocrops we're using, we're now increasing in supplements, right? It's kind of the same thing. A fertilizer is a supplement for the soil. Supplements, dietary supplements, are fertilizers for the human soil, right? Um, we're seeing this also play out in pesticides. What are pesticides? Essentially, pesticides are an umbrella category for herbicides and rodenticides and fungicides and all these sides, which means death. And so we're seeing this with disinfectants, right? Where as we disinfect the soil on the outside in a larger scale, we're also disinfecting our homes more. We're being told to disinfect and use hand sanitizer and sanitize, and sterilize our homes. And so we're seeing that play out. And so this can continue, but CAFOs, we're packing our animals together. We're getting more cities and skyscrapers. We're packing humans together. A soil dysbiosis. I saved the best for last. Soil dysbiosis, we're seeing a gut dysbiosis. And really, why these parallel so well is because we are connected, is because at the end of the day, you can't escape the fact that you are nature, nature is you, and you're inherently connected. And so what does this mean? There is hope. It's not, we're here to bring a message of hope. The hope is in regenerative healthcare and regenerative nutrition, regenerative soil. So really this idea of regeneration can be inherent in this creation, in the soil, in us. And so there is a movement to do this. Other health professionals are practice as well. And specifically, many really integrative practitioners are understanding this. We've even started our own inner ecosystem collective, bringing together other health professionals and food brands. It's part of our regenerative nutrition initiative at Marit to Health. And really, it's because over the last several years, we've been diving into the research, understanding where the gut's coming from, and understanding that we really can't do this alone. We need all of you. We need other food companies. We need other doctors and dietitians and chiropractors, whoever is kind of understanding this to really come together, plant seeds, and really bring this diversity of people with a really focused mission on regenerative nutrition and regenerative healthcare. So I'll kind of lean into gut issues for a little bit here. So now we get to some of the root of the problem, which is